Yo! What's up? This is Happy Hour. I am your host, Ryan Hoppe. For the next hour, my goal in life is to change the way you think about things. For the next hour, I want my rants and my opinion to broaden your horizon. But it's not hard to get into contact with me. All you gotta do is call me at 856-49-HOPPY. That's 856-49-HOPPY, and I will be sure to take your calls in real time. But here's the deal. It's an online show. I don't have a phone screener yet. I'm not on the radio. I'm not on Sirius radio yet. That's the goal. So I can't talk about the news, take calls, and rant all at the same time. So when I say all phone lines are open, call me at 856-49-HOPPY. It's 856-49-HOPPY. But maybe you're a bit shy, but you wanted to get into contact with me. Trust me, it's not hard. It's not rocket science. All you got to do is tweet at me at Ryan Hoppe Radio, and I will be sure to take your tweets in real time during the commercial break, and I will respond to them. Also, if you have the Hoppe Radio app, which you can get in the Google Play and iPhone shop, search up Hoppe Radio, Hoppe Radio, and there you can share me live, and you can listen to me anywhere in the world. Shout out to everybody that came out to the 1025 The Bone bar crawl last night, Bonoween in downtown St. Pete. First of all, I love downtown St. Pete because it's not douchey, but it's cool. And there's different characters you see. You see the crazy homeless people. You see the wacky hipsters. And then you have the bone listeners that came out to the bar crawl. You have the good-looking women downtown. You have the dudes that you can talk sports with. Downtown St. Pete is a fun time. So shout out to everybody that came out. I had a fun time meeting listeners. And I had a fun time being in the Duffman outfit for The Simpsons. We have so much to get into. So, I saw this headline here, and it immediately made me mad. Like, it's one of those headlines, because a lot of people think when I do this show, and I got this last week from this radio guy on Twitter that I thought I was friends with, but took me off of Twitter and Facebook. I thought we were cool. A lot of people think when I say my opinions on this show that I'm doing it to be a shock jock, and I'm doing it to spark outrage. When in fact, I do this show to talk about the opposite, that I hate fake outrage, and I hate that we're so uptight in this politically correct world we are in 2016. And the dude went on to say that I'm a narcissist because I think my opinions could change the world. Why else would we be in radio? We want our opinions to be heard. We are cocky imbeciles. It doesn't mean we're a narcissist. So sick and tired of hearing that whenever anybody is outspoken, they're a shock jock. So this next headline I'm going to read to you goes along the line of the legendary segment I did on the previous show in Cleveland, or not a segment, but more of a drop, but I've made it a segment now. I've made it a segment now on Happy Hour. It's known as Happy Hot Topic. So, if you even have the idea in your head or the audacity in 2016 to say that somebody is a shock jock, you're not very smart. You're not very original. You probably find the Big Bang Theory to be funny. You probably like watching the Kardashians. I'm not saying you're a moron, but you're very simple if that's the first thing you go to whenever anybody is outspoken on the radio. Half the time when these wacky morning shows get in trouble, CNN will be like, those shock jocks out of Sacramento, when they're just a mom and pop wacky morning zoo morning show. Here's what I'm getting at. I see this headline here. It's from the National Enquirer, and it makes me sick. Now, listen, I'm not a big fan of the term internet radio. I think it's kind of weird because if you're doing a show on the internet, it's not on the radio, so you can't have it both ways. You're doing an internet talk show. Like, I was flattered when I was up for Best Internet Radio Show by the Creative Loafing, but I'm not on the radio. It's not on the radio when you're on the internet. That term doesn't make any sense. I hate when these online shows water down podcasts by saying, we're on the radio. No, you're not. You're on the smartphone and you're on the computer. Because I see this headline here, and this is from Pennsylvania. Is the raunchy radio host also the New Jersey school board member up for election? So basically, there's this edgy, crazy, wacky shock jock of an internet radio show. Yes, internet radio show. And he's also running for school board. But when you're doing a show on the internet, you're not on the radio. So shame on the pathetic and lazy journalism of the Philadelphia Inquirer Daily News for saying he's a radio host. He's not on the FM or AM dial. This guy, Ray Anthony Scipione, who does the Two Idiots show. It's an online show. And here's what happened. Here's what it says here. Ray Anthony is an idiot. Oh, wow. What a great way to begin an article. He jokes that HIV is a great way to lose weight, refers to the local police officer as a fat pig, and he's not the first one to say that about cops, but whatever. And he called a woman who served him the wrong donuts a whore. That really is typical 90s shock jock radio, but whatever. During an hour-long show on Monday evenings on the Wildfire Internet streaming service, Ray Anthony and his co-host talk about sexual behaviors and body parts that even Donald Trump might find disgusting. He drops the F-bomb and other curses that if a nun were in the South Jersey room, she would want to punch him in the face. Now, I listened to the show, The Idiots. It was all right. I'm not going to critique an online show because I'm doing an online show, but I didn't like how on the website wildfireradio.com, where their show is at, it said syndicated shows, and it was an online network of shows. And I hated the word syndicated because when I think of a syndicated show, I think of, let's say, a morning show that's heard in multiple markets on the radio. Just because you're featuring other shows on your website doesn't mean they're syndicated. They're just featured on your blog, essentially. They're not syndicated. That's what I hate about these online shows, is they water it down. Just because you're featuring other shows on your network doesn't mean they're syndicated. You're not like Lex and Terry. You're not like these other radio shows that are syndicated. No. You're not like Elvis Duran or The Kane Show. Those shows are actually heard in Washington, D.C., in Tampa, in New York City, in all the markets they're heard in. That's called being syndicated. Featuring a show on your website is just free publicity. That really pissed me off. But I listened to the guy's show. It was all right. You can tell there's a reason why he's not on the radio. And yes, you can say I'm a hypocrite because I'm not on the radio yet with my own show. But as a radio geek, you can just kind of tell that he's way too edgy and that it wouldn't work in 2016. But he's trying to run for school board in New Jersey. And they're trying to prevent him from winning because of what he says online. Here's what I find ridiculous. First of all, everybody needs to realize that whenever any of these shock jocks, I've met a ton of them at the morning show boot camp. I work in that format of shock jocks. Trust me when I say the guys who do FM talk shows and are shock jocks are more genuine and are more likable and are more friendlier than the other shows that are in different formats at times that aren't shocking. Like whenever I've seen radio, a lot of times the guys that are so clean cut and wild, or no, they're so clean cut and quiet behind the mic and safe, those are the guys that end up saying the gross things off air. Like let's say Billy Bush. But a lot of times these shock jocks live to have the microphone on, but when they're off air, they're actually nice guys, or they're quiet, or they're narcissists, or they're nerds. I would say 99% of the time, an outrageous comedian, a shock jock radio host, or a wild TV host, when the mic is off, they're very quiet. Like, I've heard many accounts that Howard is a really nice, genuine guy. I met Hoppe and I've met Jim Norton, and they're nice, genuine guys. They're raunchy on air, but they're nice, genuine guys. I've met other quote-unquote shock jocks. I've never had an experience where one of them said what they said on air to my face, because it's all an act. So for this New Jersey school board to even imply that what this dude says on his internet radio show and the fact that it could ruin his chance to be a school board member and that he would be going around saying that women are whores and saying that the cops are fat pigs at these events for the school. Trust me when I say the people that are going to probably beat him in this election say worse things behind the microphone because they don't have the guts or the audacity to do a show like him. At least he's honest. It's not a smart thing to say that women are whores in 2016. It's dumb. But at least he has the guts to put it out there. I can promise you full-heartedly, the people that he is up against are the ones that say wackier and crazier things behind closed doors. And if somebody were to hack into their internet accounts and see their Facebook messages or their iOS messages on the iPhone, it would be crazy. It says here that the show, The Idiots, which has the perfect name. It's not like they're saying we are the classy talk show. They're saying they're the idiots. And you know what? Who cares if they do a show once a week? I'm sure he has a 9-to-5 job being a car salesman or doing insurance, because the way he's dressed, you can tell he makes money. And somehow they got a picture of his house. Here, I'll tweet it out, the link, not his house, but the link to the article, at Ryan Hoppe Radio. They somehow got a picture of his house, this local newspaper. And his house is decent, so he probably has a 9-to-5 job that he hates. So doing this show, The Idiots, is the one time he ever has like the freedom to just drink a beer, put his feet up on a desk, and just have fun. I actually think that a dude that's in a creative, quote-unquote, business, I guess a creative form like radio, like internet radio, would actually bring good ideas to the desk and good ideas to the table when it comes to being a school board member. Because when you're on the radio, you're supposed to keep talking and not have any moments of dead air. So your brain keeps on clicking. So that's what he does when he does his show. If it's good or not, he has the guts and he has the nerves to be able to do a show. You know, like he never has any dead air because I listened to it prior. It's pretty good. So what I'm getting at is he has enough talent to talk behind the mic. It was kind of creative. So, you know, why couldn't he be a school member? And do you really think that the kids that go to this school are going to look up Ray Liotta? Or what's this guy's name? Not Ray Liotta. That's an actor. Ray Scipione. Are they going to look him up and go, oh my God, it's The Idiots. Oh my God, I got to listen to the show. There's no kid that's going to be at that school where he's trying to be the school board member that's going to listen to the show. Kids don't listen to talk radio. That's why I'm a weird dude. I began listening to talk radio around 4th grade. Nobody else did. Trust me, it's a demographic of 25 to 54-year-olds. Last time I checked, when you're between the age of 25 to 54, you're not in elementary school. So this whole fake outrage about this dude running for school president is really, really annoying. And what's annoying is they asked him, too, if his name that he goes by on the show is Ray Anthony, if that's him, Ray Scipione, and he declined to comment. Well, at this point, when you have a major market newspaper like the National Enquirer out of good old Philadelphia, the city of brotherly love, when you have them covering you, you're not going to win. So you might as well say, yes, that's me. I do that online internet show known as The Idiots. Here's what one school board member. She said she listened to 10 seconds of The Idiots and she was offended. I couldn't believe what I heard. It's offensive. If you want to do that, then go do it. But don't be in a public life. That dead air was for a reason. The whole point of doing a show and trying to grow as a radio host is to be in the public life. What are you going to do? Do a raunchy show and just upload it to Dropbox and listen to it with your friends on the weekend and go, this is our imaginary show we do known as The Idiots? Is that what I should begin doing? Just not doing the show in a public life and just going, oh, I did Happy Hour, but I didn't have it on Facebook Live or on Spreaker where people can listen. That is the whole point of having a show, is to be in the public life to gain attention. And the fact that we are letting words offend us, and the fact that everybody out there is so up in arms over what he said that he wouldn't be a school president or a school board member. Come on. What do you think he's going to do? Are they going to be at a school board meeting talking about what they're going to do for the next ice cream social? And he goes, I know this one whore who makes great yogurt. Oh, she's a skank. Or are they going to talk about having to do a school dance and having cops there just to make sure it's safe? And he goes, I know a fat pig who would be a great person to have there for security. You know what I mean? I mean, come on. You got to be honest here when you say that he's not going to bring what he said on air to the job if he were to be a school board member. Here's what it says they left on his front door. Here's what he left on his front door because he knows the media is going to come to his front door. Notice, unless I am expecting you or you are making a delivery, do not think about knocking or ringing this door. Do not leave any religious flyers. I don't lend money to anyone. If you need baby food, take it. We need the doors armed. You have been warned. I kind of liked what he had on his door until he began saying, if you need baby food, take it. Like implying that you should go shoplifting. Like, I think he'd be a good school member. I think he would bring ideas to the table. But if you want to win, you should probably take it off your front door. So you can at least try and pretend that you're a good person. I'm not saying you're not a good person. I'm just saying right now you come off as the pig that's awful around women. So when you keep this on your front door, you have no chance of winning. I'm just looking at this. They said that the things he said are set online because he can't say it on the radio because of the FCC. The sky is blue. Barack Obama is our president as of right now. Wow. You say things on an online show because you can't say it on the radio. And I'm sure if he had the chance to be on the radio, he would probably take it. It's not like offer sheets are going towards Ray Anthony of the idiots on the Wildfire Radio Network. He's doing this to get some type of attention. I mean, come on. It says here, they listened to one of the shows and they critiqued it. Oh boy, I bet it's not biased at all. It says, he used the gay slur and said that HIV is a great way to lose weight if you want to lose 180 points or more. And here's what he said when they talked about Jesus Christ. Man, Ray Anthony brings the hot topics to the table. Talking about how to lose weight. Talking about cops and saying they're fat pigs. Saying that women that gave him the wrong donuts at the shop were whores. Man, this guy really brings the hot topics to the table. Ugh. When they talked about Jesus Christ, he said, I am not going to put up with anything against Allah because I am going home tonight in one piece. And those guys are going to come after us. I'm saying to you. I don't know what to say about that. I like being controversy free. I'm not going to comment on that comment, but it's not the worst thing you can possibly say. But it's not politically correct, and that's the issue. And his school board opponent, Joseph Ingamy, is an Army veteran and a private detective, a private consultant, that says that he would be a good role model for the 3,500 kids that go there. I don't condemn that type of behavior for a sitting member. It's deliberate and it's rude and it represents a lack of immaturity. You're a dude as well. That's what I hate. I hate how this dude's like, oh, Ray Anthony, this online shock jock says the wild things, but I swear I'm mature. Kind of like with everything Trump has been saying, you had to hear from Marco Rubio, Ted Cruz, Rand Paul, Jeb Bush, all the losers that could not beat Trump. And they're like, we don't agree with Trump with all the locker room talk he said. Of course you don't. Trump's out of his mind. But with this case, what the guy said literally is locker room talk. And I wouldn't take it against the guy who's 41 years old for the fact that he probably has said something like that. Ugh. Call the show. 856-49-HOPPE. That's 856-49-HOPPE. I'm really over this whole thing of fake outrage. And I'm really over this word shock jock. I loved the article that Mike Kelta was featured in where he talked about how he's bringing a new brand of radio and how the whole word shock jock is dumb. The word shock jock began because when Howard and Opie and Anthony and Dahl and Gary Meyer in Chicago and Mancow and all these shows, there's many other shows I can name, they did this wacky brand of radio in the 80s and 90s because there wasn't internet. So you couldn't watch Two Girls, One Cup. To me, that's a little more shocking than what some dude says behind the mic. It's a word that the media came up with to throw these guys under the bus. And it's a word that the media came up with in the 90s. So it's about 26 years old, and it probably should go away. There's nothing that Ray said, like when he said that a cop is a fat pig, or even saying that the woman at the shop is a whore. That's a rude, unfunny, hacky comment. But nobody had chills down their spine. Nobody was so shocked that they went, oh my God, I can't go on with my day because Ray Anthony of the Idiots on the Wildfire Radio Network said someone's a whore. You just roll your eyes and go, okay, the guy's trying to be cool. But this whole thing where we're shocked and we're offended by words, shut up. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. That's what I always say. I don't know if you guys say that. I remember I used to say that like in 4th grade as I was getting beat up on the playground. So I went to therapy ever since like 2nd grade, on and off. And I remember there was these kids that kicked me in the balls in like 4th grade. And that's what they told me to say. To say to them, sticks and stones may break my bones, but your words will never hurt me, as I'm getting beat up in an uncoordinated way on the playground at Patton School in good old Palatine, Illinois. Oh boy, did I live the weirdest childhood. Oh my God. Call the show. 856-49-HOPPY. It's 856-49-HOPPY. Tweet at me at Ryan Hoppe Radio, and then get the Hoppe Radio app in the Google Play and iPhone shop by searching up Hoppe Radio, Hoppe Radio. There you can chat me live, and you can listen to me anywhere in the world. Speaking of that, we have record-breaking numbers in cities like the ROC in New York, Cleveland, Louisville. I love that Portland's listening to me. That's a very hip city, very up and coming, so it's very cool to see the listens I am getting. It means a lot. We will be right back on What's up? This is Ryan Hoppe from the award-winning Hoppe Hour podcast here in Tampa Bay, and I'm here today to talk about my guy, Joe Sale of the Tampa Image Factory. About 4 months ago, I needed somebody to take press shots for me for my podcast, and it was hard to find people because it seems like in this day and age, everybody is a photographer. But the thing that I immediately liked about Joe Sale was that he was a laid-back guy who was willing to work with my schedule, and I immediately dug the vibe of his office. The things they have there include family portraits, commercial work for your company. They can make images for your events, your big day when you're going to get married at your wedding, and they even make photography for products and anything you need for the home or office. And if you're sitting here and you're going, man, this sounds like quite the deal. Man, how can I get into contact with such a trustworthy and hardworking photographer like Joe Sale? Trust me, it's not rocket science. All you got to do is call him at 813-417-2626. It's 813-417-2626. Or you can check him out online at TampaImageFactory.com. That is TampaImageFactory.com. And if you go there and tell them that I sent you, he will hook you up with a top-notch deal. Trust me when I say Joe Sale of the Tampa Bay Image Factory is the best in the Bay.
Roll smooth with a bang. Call Hoppe, 856-49-HOPPY. That's 856-494-6773.
All right, welcome back to Hoppe Hour. I am your host, Ryan Hoppe. Call the show, 856-49-HOPPY. It's 856-49-HOPPY. I think that's going to be the longest in my life I will ever rant and ever get mad over a school board election. I'm just so over this whole thing where everybody is so up in arms over words. Like, get over yourself. All right. I never get these sports fans that go to the games and they think they're so wild and they're so edgy because they flick off the athletes or they say something outrageous and then, let's say, Deadspin or one of the online sport tabloids picks it up and shows the fans flicking off the players. And then the fans get mad and blame the players. Like this scumbag loser of a fan out of Philadelphia. And I'm not saying all the fans out of the city of brotherly love are like this, but there is something with that city, man. There is something where these fans are so up in arms and they're so rude. Like at the Flyers game last year, and just every time you watch an Eagles game, it's a very rude fan base. I never get it. So basically, it's this like middle-aged dude who's like 50 years old, and he's flicking off Russell Westbrook. And Russell does this like thing where he's like, is there a guy over there? I can't tell. Which I loved Russell's reaction. If it was 2004 and it was in Detroit, you know, Ron Artest would have gone out there and kicked some ass. It says here, remember the wonderful moment on Wednesday night when your dad passionately flipped Russell Wilson to double bird after he had a filthy and one finish in transition? Yeah, I love that point too. That's somebody's dad. It's somebody's boss. It's going, yeah, F you, Russell Westbrook. Yeah, man. I got you, bro. The fan ended up being tossed from the game and leaving those seats that were great, that were on the sideline, unattended for 80% of the game. And Russell Westbrook went on to have 32 points, 12 rebounds, and 9 assists. So this loser, this doctor, named Dr. Richard Harkaway, who did it, he wrote this on Facebook as his defense. This is what he had to say. To all my Facebook friends who are seeing a picture of me on the internet giving the finger to Russell Westbrook, actually 2 fingers. Yeah! You like that? It wasn't just 1 finger. I did 2 because I'm double as edgy. I'm such a cool guy, man. Not as simple as it seems. I love to scream at all the players, and anyone who has been in the game with me knows this. It's a part of my charm. Oh, yeah. So charming and wonderful to be around. Dr. Richard Harkaway. Oh, you're so lovely of a guy. Oh, man, you're just classy, bro. That is so charming to flick off a player that is more talented than you, that has banged hotter girls than you, that has more money than you, that has made it farther in life than you, that has nicer cars and a nicer house and is more talented than you. Oh, that is so charming to flick him off. Wow, man. How long did it take you to come up with that idea? You're so outrageous, man. Because when we grow up, we all want to be like Richard Harkaway, a loser fan out of the city of brotherly love. That's what we all aspire to be. We want to be like you. It says here, what you may not have seen on the clip is that he began the whole thing, which was him saying, sit down, you effing fat boy, when I got up to boo. Okay. Dr. Richard Harkaway, you have gray hair on your head. You look older. I would guess you're probably 53, 54. Russell Westbrook is almost 30, but he's a young dude. Whatever you say. So it's okay because he reacted towards you. If it was a player that was, let's say, 40 years old, would you do it then? No, it's because you feel threatened because you see somebody that's more successful than you ever were at the age of 28, and you're in your mid-50s, and it's never, ever an excuse. He began it! I have nothing to do with it. He called me a fat boy, so I had to flick him off and act like a 4-year-old scumbag Philadelphia sports fan. Because that's what we do. No big deal, whatever. We love to cheer injuries and flick off players because that's what we do, man. We're crazy in Philadelphia. We go ham, man. We're out of control. He says, I am really sensitive about my plumpness, when he says being fat. I guess I got a little bit out of hand. Hey, hey, no pun intended. All right. We all have our insecurities. But I've seen that video. We've all seen it. All Russell did was point at you while he scored the bucket and you were flicking him off. And he's just going, is that guy there? He's making that hand move. Like, is there a guy there? I never, ever saw his lips move where he says, shut your mouth, you effing fat boy. I never, ever saw the potential of that. But no, hey. Maybe there's a different video that doesn't exist. Maybe there's an alternate universe where Richard Harkaway is a victim of being bullied by an athlete. What a loser, man. It's just, what is wrong with you? They actually say here, too, that he is a comedian as well. And that he likes to make jokes about his weight. And they said it's not too bad. I will tweet that out at Ryan Hoppe Radio. So there you go, Richard Harkaway. You got your 15 minutes of fame, or 15 seconds rather. All right. I also see this in the news here, and I'm trying to figure out how I want to dabble in this, because I was on the Mike Calta cruise about 5-6 weeks ago now, man, and we were having a great dinner. And all of a sudden, everybody goes, Jose Fernandez died of a boat crash. A boat crashed and Jose Fernandez died. And what was really eerie about it wasn't like it was the last day of the cruise. That was the first official day of the cruise. So you had 5 to 6 days of being on a cruise and being on a boat while you hear about a player dying. So that was very, very eerie. And then I remember, I wasn't bad drunk. But I mean, I've been drinking a lot, and I was at the casino watching TV, and there's nothing more depressing than thinking about dying at night. And it was like 1 in the morning, and since the boat left at Port Canaveral, which is sort of near Miami, for some reason, the boat, the Carnival cruise ship, was showing the local Miami news channel. It was like the local CBS TV channel, and they basically had the funeral of Jose Fernandez on TV. And oh boy, when you're buzzed all day long and it's 1 in the morning, man, and you're on the same type of platform that he died on, it was very, very eerie. It says here, Miami pitcher Jose Fernandez. Are you guys ready for this? Because I called this, but everybody was like, Hoppe, man, come on. He didn't do this. He wouldn't do that. He's smarter than that. I'm not saying Jose Fernandez was a dummy. He seems like a nice guy. I feel really, really awful. I feel horrible that his girl is going to give birth to a kid and the kid will never know his dad. I feel awful. Jose Fernandez is just a year older than me. He was supposed to be the next big up-and-coming thing in baseball. But here's what it says here. He took cocaine and was more than twice the legal limit of being drunk before he died in the boat crash. They said he had been partying at a Miami night spot and that his friends died of the same thing, and he was driving the boat. And that was during the potential hurricane we were going to get. Because I remember the waters, man. When we were on the Mike Calta cruise, we could feel that boat moving back and forth when we were eating that night. I can't imagine being on coke and being twice the legal limit drunk and being a 24-year-old dude who I assumed isn't the best experienced boat driver when it driver when it becomes a guy who is driving a boat. I can only imagine he probably wasn't the best driver of a boat, and it was raining out and you're drunk and you never should be operating any type of thing when you're drunk, and then he was on coke. It's very, very sad, because it's not that it would have been better if he wasn't high on anything, but you could have gone, oh, he was just a dumb jock who was trying to overcompensate and was happy about his boat. But it's just so sad for the kid and for the mom of his kid, his girl, that dad died and he could have been the next big thing in baseball, but he was on coke. He was twice the legal limit drunk, and he thought it was a good idea to go boating in the middle of water. Now, If he were to have tried to drive drunk home and he died, that wouldn't be any bit better. But at least there would be some common sense where you go, okay, he was out of his mind and he thought he would be able to make it home from the Miami nightclub. But I don't know what universe you're in as a human being where you're twice the legal limit drunk and you're on cocaine and you think that's the perfect time to go out boating while there was a potential hurricane and the water waves were going back and forth, back and forth. Very, very sad. And you look at the ship too, it crashed, man. It looks horrendous. It says here that his friends drank, but they also weren't under the legal limit of any illegal drugs. I'm not saying it would have been better if they would have been driving because they were drunk too. But why are you letting your friend, who is twice the legal limit, and the next big thing in baseball, who is on coke, why are you letting him drive the boat? Huh? Was he like an egomaniac where he needed to control things? His blood alcohol level was 0.147. I mean, when you're at a 0.06 or 05, you can't operate anything. With my uncoordinatedness, when I'm walking around and I feel good in downtown St. Pete and I take an Uber home, I can't even control this whole 6'9" frame completely all the time. I lose coordination. I can't imagine being 0.147 and driving a boat and being on cocaine. I will tweet the link here at Ryan Hoppe Radio. It says here that his dad is very angry at the county sheriffs for releasing the reports. Hey man, that's what happens when people die. I'm sorry because your kid was 24 years old and he was going to be the next up-and-coming thing in baseball that it shouldn't be released. But that is the entitlement that led to this dude dying. He thought he was better than everybody else just because he made millions. And he was a great pitcher in a major market without a fan base. But that's besides the point. That doesn't mean when you die, because we're all going to die, that it can't be released. Whenever a public figure dies, they always release the toxicology report. So shame on his dad, Jose Fernandez, for getting mad at the county sheriffs for doing what they always do. Huh? I know it's a rough time, and I know it's embarrassing that your kid died like that. And I'm looking at a picture here too. He would have these parties, and they were called the J Crew. And there was women after women after women and a few dudes on the boat. Swear to God, it's kind of like Ricky on the show Ballers on HBO with The Rock. It looks like Ricky in season 1 when he was out of control and just partying all the time. That's what it looks like here with all the women he was hanging out with. I'm not going to say that he wasn't faithful to his girl, but when you have that many women you're out with, and you're not having a romantic afternoon with your girl while drinking wine and looking at the beautiful water of Miami while the sun is out in the sunshine state, and you're with over 20 babes in Miami, it kind of shows that you may not have been faithful. And they had an account that was just about the J Crew, and they were called the J Screwfish, and it was on Twitter and Facebook, and it was private, and they had their own shirts called J Crew. He was a great pitcher. He was up and coming, but when you have things like this, it shows where your priorities were, and that's what led to his death. He wasn't taking care of his body. Imagine if he wouldn't have died. Imagine if Jose Fernandez would have survived. He wouldn't have been around that much longer because you can't just keep partying like this because the Miami Marlins weren't going to the playoffs. So he would have had the whole offseason to train and then do coke and drink twice the legal limit. That's not a way to live life. They said he won 38-17 over his 4 seasons with the Marlins, and he had 17 career home decisions and went 24-1 in his first 25 home decisions. And he was named the comeback player of the year last year. And it says that before he died, they were expecting him and his girl, Arias, their first child together. And it says here that she said online, "I'm ready for this journey wherever it'll take us together," before he died. It's just horrible. I mean, it's so sad that the kid's dad is always going to be known as that up-and-coming pitcher who was a year older than me at this point that I'm doing the show on October 29th, 2016. I'm 23. He's 24. He had his whole life ahead of him, but he thought it was a good idea to do coke, which it's never a good idea to do coke, but then drive your own boat twice the legal limit while it was storming out in the Miami waters. You're literally saying, "I want to die today." You're literally saying to yourself, when you're going on the Miami waters, partying, you're literally saying, "I want the Grim Reaper to take me now." I'm just saying. Are you a Miami Marlins fan? Do you have an opinion? Call the show. 856-49-HOPPY. That's 856-49-HOPPY. Tweet at me at Ryan Hoppe Radio, and I will be sure to look at your tweets. And get the Hoppe Radio app in the Google Play and iPhone shop by searching up Hoppe Radio. HLPPE Radio. All right, here's the deal. We're going to come back and wrap everything up. After this on...
Happy Hour. Happy Hour.
I will be back in about 3 minutes to wrap everything up, so hang on. NBA D-League coaches, nationally syndicated radio hosts, TV writers, comedians. You never know who will call in a happy hour. All right, this is Happy Hour. I am your host, Ryan Hoppe. We're about to end the show, so call us at 856-49-HOPPY. That's 856-49-HOPPY. Here are some of the cities that are giving us record-breaking numbers in the past few days. Portland, Oregon, Franklin, Pennsylvania, Tampa Bay, Lake Mary, Florida, Cleveland, Rochester, Louisville, Huntington, West Virginia, Syracuse, and St. Louis. I appreciate you guys listening. It means a lot. If it wasn't for you guys, I would be a little minuscule podcast. Hey, I am one, but hey, I would be even more minuscule.
First, it's time for last call.
Ow! Ow! All right, Happy Hour is about to end. Tweet at me, at Ryan Hoppe Radio. Go to RyanHoppeRadio.com. Get the Hoppe Radio app in the Google Play and iPhone shop by searching up Hoppe Radio, Hoppe Radio. There you can listen to me anywhere in the world. And when I do this show live, you can chat me as well. Go to tinyurl.com/happyhourlive. That's tinyurl.com/happyhourlive. You can watch all the episodes of Hoppe TV anytime for your pleasure. Oh, yeah. Go to tinyurl.com/happyhourdecal. It's tinyurl.com/happyhourdecal. Brought to you by my guy, Nicholas Seymour of Solis Graphics out of Duluth, Minnesota. He will hook you up with Happy Hour decals for just $2. And if you have a design for a company that you want made, call or go to his website, tinyurl.com/happyhourdecal. This show has been brought to you by Simply Prepaid at T-Mobile. My guy, Patrick McVicker, Ryan in the tech department, and Tony Spinney will hook you up with great T-Mobile deals. It's 727-331-1934. That's 727-331-1934. And they are at 5014 Gulfport Boulevard South in Gulfport, Florida. If you go there and tell them that I sent you, they will hook you up with a great deal. They will also help you fix your phone, or if you need a lesson, my guy Tony Spinney at Simply Prepaid at T-Mobile at 5014 Gulfport Boulevard South. He will hook you up with a great deal. Also, go to Burn Fitness in Largo, Florida. My guy Thomas Gerganis will help you get into shape. It is not hard to get into contact with him. All you got to do is go to Burn Fitness in Largo at 727-385-1108. That's 727-385-1108. And of course, my guy, Johnny B from the Johnny B Show and the BDRS, always has to make it about him while I do this show. So he has walked in on Happy Hour. What's up?
Make it about me. I just came in to support you, man.
I love you, bro. How you been?
I love Burn Fitness. You have endorsements?
Kinda. They're gonna help me get ready for the Mike Count the Punch Out.
That's still an endorsement. They're training your big goofy ass for free.
I ain't that goofy. I'm getting more coordinated. How are you?
I'm wonderful, man. How are you, pal?
Doing great. Now, it is weekend, and if they're listening on demand, why should they tune into your show live or on SoundCloud during the week? Johnny B Show.
Because it's the greatest, most entertaining 3 hours that people should be talking more about. The next best thing in Tampa radio that one day will be 5 days a week. The Johnny B Show, where we fly so close to the sun without getting burnt that the FCC probably has me on some sort of an FBI watch list ready to bust us all down, but they can't. They just can't because it's so damn entertaining.
And they're busy with Clinton right now. They don't really care about Johnny B out of Tampa.
We do everything, man. We do audio bits, and we offend almost every person from every background, and we cover topical things, hot button issues, and we try to engage with the audience and make everybody a part of it. And at the same time, utilizing all my talents, and goddamn, there's so many of them.
And now get on Happy TV. Look at this guy's gorgeous body. He has lost so much weight.
Yeah.
I was looking at the pic of you with Jacob 2 times last year. You look so fat. Now, bro,
yeah.
Oh my God,
look at
how
the tits.
sexy.
Yeah.
Look at those tits.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Woo.
Give me turned on in here.
Ah, I'm gonna go whack off.
Hey, Leah. This is awkward. Hey, what's up? How's it going?
See you later.
You look sexy, guys. Thank you.
Bye.
All right. I think we're going to end the show on that note. That got very, very interesting. All right. I love Johnny B. Tune into the BDRS, the best night show in all of talk radio on 102.5 The Bone at the Bone Online at theboneonline.com. Or get the 102.5 The Bone app and listen to the Johnny B Show every Saturday from 7 to 10 p.m. And then I run the board from 12 to 6 a.m. 5 hours later, and we air it from 12 till 2. So be sure to tune in. Tampa Bay is the best radio market in all of radio. This has been Happy Hour. I am your host, Ryan Hoppe, saying peace out.
Happy hour. Happy